price gouging, overcharging, and or the best bang for your buck in regards to places to go to on your Christmas vacation in the Philippines. So I could start out with one place I would seriously, that no family gathering would ever waste their time to go to, is Dumaguete. Dumaguete is for retired men that want to go meet college-age women and take them out for dinners and things like that. But other than that, I've been through the entire town of Dumaguete, and it is not so exciting. There's nothing really there. The pier that leads up to the boat dock is all rock. There's no sand beach in that whole area. Now, I've been all the way up the coast of Dumaguete to Bacolod, and the bus runs along the coastline. I did not see a white sand beach on the way up or back. So for a family vacation, Dumaguete would be the last place of all the known places that you know about. Unless you're a retired man looking to meet a young girl, college age, take her out for a couple of days and destroy what's left of her small life here in the Philippines. That's my opinion about that. Now, another place I would not go to is Bacolod. Bacolod City is on the island in central Visayas that's up north of Dumaguete, or west. Let's see, that would be east. So that place is just a big city, and there's really nothing in Bacolod. Bacolod's claim to fame is it's not much to be proud of, to be honest with you. It's Bacolod's claim to fame is that it has somehow the best roasted chicken in the world at a specific restaurant on a specific corner on the way to there's a huge mall there. And I ate there. I wanted to throw the chicken out, but I paid for it, so I ate it. So it wasn't the best chicken that I ever had. Now, it was cold. In all probability, they served me yesterday's chicken, even though that was on the rotisserie. It was dry, and it was on the rotisserie, but the rotisserie wasn't moving. So that, if you're going to get the world's best chicken, and it was expensive. It was like $6 for a chicken back in 2015. So Bacolod, Central Visayas, Dumaguete, out of the question. Unless you're an alcoholic and you want to meet young girls college age. So let's move on to the next place. Now, the first place I would recommend is Palawan if you're into water sports, diving, snorkeling, swimming. But El Nino, not Palawan proper, because the city of Palawan proper, Puerto Princesa, that's a big, huge, giant city, and it has all the decorum of the city. It's open sewers. The water in the bay of Puerto Princesa it's filthy. It's absolutely filthy. And so that place is another place you hear a lot about, Puerto Princesa, and it's got a beautiful name. And there are quite a few hotels, but none of them are worth, and I have stayed there, none of them are worth the money that I paid to stay at a hotel in Puerto Princesa. None of them are worth what I paid. Now, going up the coast, you can go to Coron, Palawan, Coron. And Coron is even more polluted, the Bay of Coron. It's beyond anything. Okay, so I've lived in the Philippines. I was in Bohol before I left for my vacation in Coron, Palawan, and or actually El Nido. And let me get a map up here. Let me put a map on the screen so you guys can see what I see. I also need to get to my channel to see if there are any friends of mine that have a question, because right now, friends of mine that have a question. Okay, nobody yet. Okay, so let's get a map. Let's get a map of Palawan. Palawan. And we're going to get a map of Palawan. I'm going to turn this around and try to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Because there's two Palawans. You will hear it as one Palawan, but it's two completely different places. So I can't, that map just was on the screen and now it disappeared. I should have had it on the screen, but I did not. Okay, so let's go back to Google Map and let's go over here and let's open up this page. And then and they're not giving me a map. Is this not something? All right, let's try this one. Google has the worst websites in the entire world when it comes to the Philippines maps. It's amazing. It's junk. What I'm looking at is a picture of I don't know what the heck I'm looking at. Okay, so let's go try this one. Okay, here we are. Okay, got it. Okay, so we had to go through 4 maps when I wanted a map of Palawan. So let me turn this around. Let me show you where I'm talking about here. Okay, what you see here, this very long island here. Down here is Puerto Princesa, Palawan. Puerto Princesa is right here in the middle. I've never been down this area here of Palawan, the lower end. When I went there, they said, don't go there. Do not go there. Okay, so I didn't go there. So Puerto Princesa is the most polluted water I ever saw in the Philippines up until that day. So they have a lot of nice hotels inland with nice pools, maybe nice pools. I did not enjoy the pool where I stayed, but maybe. So moving on past that, this place here, Roxas, is the only other place in Puerto Princesa that I would suggest you go. And it's just one overnight, one day overnight, and the next day, and then get out of there. You don't want to be there for 2 days. Now, I will also tell you that in this area up here is where the world's, and we're going to go there right now, Underground River. Underground River. And I'll show you where that is. Underground River, Palawan. Let's just say Palawan. Palawan. Now you can get all discombobulated, here, because it says Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park. However, what you really need to understand is that this is not anywhere near Puerto Princesa. So, Subterranean National Park. And I'll show you where that is on the map. So, what you would have to fly into, get rid of that, and we'll go here. You would have to fly into, or you'd have to fly into Puerto Princesa, and then go up the coast for 2 hours and 15 minutes up to this area up here, about what's called Roxas, the Roxas area, to get to the underground river. Now, is it worth it if you want to spelunker a river in a boat? Yes. Or you can do it by land. Yes, it's really interesting. I would say it's a great thing to do, but you are spending a lot of time to get to Palawan and a lot of money, about $160 per person each way. So you're talking about $300 plus for airfare for you and your lady, $300 back, $600. A hotel in Palawan proper, $100, $700 for the day. And then when you get up to this area up here, Roxas, then you got to get another hotel. They range from $20 to $100. Now, if you really want to explore something cool, El Nido is another famous place. El Nido is another famous place on the map in Palawan. El Nido is one of the 5 or 6 places of the highest pollution I ever saw in my life in a bay or a body of water. So El Nido, on this side here, there's some islands. You can take a pump boat from this side right here. You can take a pump boat from El Nido to these islands here. To get onto the pump boat, you have to walk into this bay area here where the arrow is. It's kind of like opening up a septic tank and standing in 18 inches of septic water. When I went in the rainy season, there's no life, no fish, no live coral on the rocks, and it smells like the inside of a septic tank. I did not go in the water. However, from El Nido, if you come right up here to this little area here, now that's this side of the island, El Nido Bay. El Nido Bay should be shaped like a toilet bowl. It should be called the Cola Bay or American Standard Bay, because that's what it smells like, the inside of a toilet bowl. Now let's go over onto to the far side of the island, which is not so easy to navigate to, this area here. Batas Island, very clean island. All of this is white sand beaches, all up in here. This side, all the affluents from the city of El Nido and all the way up the coast, it all dumps into El Nido Bay. So, but this area here, white sand beaches, not much else to do there. But if you know somebody there, there are some beaches there. Now, what you want to do when you get to El Nido is stay at a hotel. They're not expensive, about $25 a night. And then you want to tell the hotel owner, they all have shuttle buses. All hotels have a shuttle or a tricycle that will bring you to the tip of the island here. You want to tell them you want to go to Coron, the island of Coron, which is up here. Okay? From El Nido, down on the bottom here, you want to tell them you want to go from El Nido, right here, El Nido. There's a port right here. It's only 5 kilometers from the hotels, well, or less from the one I stayed at. And you want to end up on the island of Coron, up on the top here. Now, this is the place you want to go. Now, I'll give El Nido the fact that after you get from the El Nido Bay, if you can get onto the boat, if you're okay with walking in septic water up to your knees to get on the boat, when they bring you out to these islands here, the water is clean and very clean, ocean clean. Fresh water, not fresh water, but it's natural ocean water. There's no septic. But I wouldn't go in the water. I wouldn't put my feet in the water at that point. You want to end up in Coron. You don't want to go to any of those other places. You want to go to Coron, and then you want to stay right in. You can stay in Coron proper. There's hundreds, not a few, there's hundreds of dive centers in Coron. Hundreds. But what I did was I stayed. This is the Bay of Coron here. I stayed on an island in this area here. You have to take a pump boat from the city of Coron. And then from here, we went diving to Apo Island, and this is where they have the 5 Japanese war wrecks. There's the 5 battleships and Japanese warships were sunk in this area here, near Apo Island, in and around here. They also have giant clams, and they have pearl farms, hundreds or maybe thousands of acres of pearl farms, and they are guarded day and night with security with machine guns in this area up here. You won't be able to go into the pearl farm, but you go past them, and you see guard towers made out of wooden bamboo. It's funny, and there's guards sitting up in the guard towers, and they have machine guns. But in this area here, the water is so clean. This is a protected area here. You're going to see giant clams, 3 feet in diameter was the one I have a video of. So this area, this is a good place to spend your vacation dollars if you're a diver, snorkeler, or swimmer. Plus, in addition, on all of these little islands, all in here, there's more or on the shorelines of Apo Island, and on the shorelines up further, and on the shorelines of Sangatte Island. There are hotels. They're expensive. They're looking at $250 plus a night for a hotel room. But on this island here, this Majaikaz Island Resort, it might be $250 a night, but it's a beautiful, pure sugar white sand beach on the island. So let's just check the let's say December 12th visit site. Okay, so that's quite expensive. I'm not going to do that, but you can do it. But I think when I remember it was $250 a night back in 2015. Now that would be Palawan, Puerto Princesa. No, Palawan, Roxas area, underground cave, yes. El Nido, no. El Nido, yes, if you're going to go out on a dive boat more than 5 miles from the port of El Nido, yes. But Coron, the Bay of Coron is, it doesn't look or smell like a giant toilet bowl. The Bay of Coron is a giant toilet bowl. All up here is such heavily populated area. There's not an empty lot for miles around here. Miles. All in this area. There's not an empty lot in the entire area. And every lot empties into a trough in the street. And every trough in the street empties into a larger sewer trough, 4 feet wide, 4 feet deep. And they all exit into this bay down here, right here. So you don't want to go into the water here at all. You want to get on a boat here and go to Apo Island or up further. So you're looking at 3,000 pesos a day, $60 a day minimum for a hotel on one of these small islands, $200 a day for a resort with a white sand beach on Apo Island or Sangatte Island. So that's a little bit out of most people's pay grade. So from there, another place is Cebu. Cebu. Cebu, Cebu. Cebu, from one end of the island of Cebu to the other end, and is absolutely nothing to do with vacations well spent. No, that's just not going to happen. Cebu City proper is a huge, huge city where if you want to move to the Philippines because of the weather only, where it's warm all year, and you want the amenities of hotels or restaurants, shopping malls, and food, places to buy food, restaurants, then Cebu is where you want to be. If you don't care about the beach and you don't care about anything, that you're never going to see anything but big buildings and sewers, lots of sewers in Cebu. A lot of sewers. Oh my God, there's. And there's sewers on the side of the road that have concrete tops that are broken from, large trucks broken over them. And in some places, this is not a joke. I have videos up. I have a lot of videos up on this. There's sewers that have concrete slabs across the top that are missing flags of concrete 5 feet by 5 feet. And the sewers are 8 feet down under the sidewalk. So if you were to be walking at night, no lights on the street when I was there. If you were walking at night and you walked into a 5 foot by 5 foot hole in the sidewalk, you could literally fall 8 feet onto a pile of the broken slab, maybe an old bicycle, maybe an old shopping cart. Okay, granted, that's in the North Reclamation area, but it's not only in the North Reclamation area. All over the city of Cebu, the concrete sewer caps are broken. So it's you really have to watch where you put your feet and where you're walking in Cebu. And that's every street. Except if you're walking in front of a big hotel, you have to pay so much attention in the Philippines in general, where you're walking, or you can walk into a trough 2 feet deep, 2 feet wide, 3 feet wide, 3 feet deep, 4 feet wide, 4 feet deep, or 5 feet wide and 5 feet deep. And then where there was a metal sewer cap, that might be a 4-foot metal sewer cap in the North Reclamation area, on the corner, usually like it's a corner prop. You're not gonna. I know you don't believe this crap, but it's the truth. Somebody took that metal sewer cap, took it to the scrap dealer, and even though it would be illegal for the scrap dealer to buy it, they may have broken it up in pieces. They may have put it in a truckload of other scrap metal, refrigerators and stuff like that. But a lot of the sewer caps are missing. So metal sewer caps where there should be one, I saw a lot of them missing. And that's really dangerous as well. So now, if you want to go to Cebu and you want supermarkets and malls and a lot of buffets to eat, you could do that. But there's no beaches in Cebu. Nothing clean. Even they say Mactan Island has beaches. Yeah. Go look up on the government website on any given day what the bacteria count is at the beaches at Mactan. It changes from day to day. When I was there in January of 2014, you were not allowed to go in the water at all. I stayed at the Costa Bella Hotel. You were not allowed in the ocean. Didn't matter, there was a typhoon, but the bacteria count at the Costa Bella Hotel in that area near the airport was too polluted to go in. And that stayed like that for years. I don't ever remember looking at a bacteria count. So Cebu, not the place I'd want to be. And then you go up. I'm not talking far. I'm not, hey, Scott. How goes the life of Gorilla Video Maker? Hey, it's actually, I had some good news today, and my leg is getting better, and I spoke with 2 or 3 people that spoke good English, and actually I had a good morning. Thank you, Scott. So, Cebu, I don't know how to say this to you, but okay, there's a place called, hey, Lotto Retirement Strategist. I should write a book. I don't think that's a bad idea, but I could, because I've been to enough places. Thank you. And oh wait, Lotto Strat. Oh my God, that's pot territory. You just made me go get a pot, dude. Bang a pot. I made a lot. Oh, it's been so long since I banged a pot. I almost forgot to bang a pot. So, Lotto, strategic scientist. Lotto, what was that fellow's name? Lotto retirement strategist. Thank you. Well, this is for you, Lotto retirement strategist. You made my day. I have been paid for my knowledge of where to go in the Philippines. Everything I say is true today, and every place I said I've been, even though I wish I did not go to some of these places. I spent money in places that I wouldn't go back to if you paid for my hotel rooms, because there are some places like Bacolod City that take all day to get to, and there's nothing to do when you get there. Nothing. I say nothing to do in Bacolod City, or Dumaguete, or up on the north end of Cebu. There's nothing to do on those little islands to the left of Cebu. Hey, thanks very much, retirement strategist. Boy, it felt good to bang a pot. I haven't banged a pot in a long time. Good feeling. Bang a pot, make a lot, baby. You'll remember the motto. So, digressing back to Cebu. North Reclamation Area. If you go back to where I was talking about the North Reclamation Area. Now, I brought in cargo containers from America. And they were dropped off at they were stored in North Reclamation Area. It's a part of Cebu. It's the commercial district. Let me tell you something about the North Reclamation Area. Now, this is just a fact about the Philippines. Every road in that entire area, you're not going to believe this. Now, there's no way that you would believe that they allowed this to happen. You would not even, you're not going to believe it. I have videos on my other channel with this. I'm not going to go look for them. I don't care whether you believe it or not. This is the way it is in one part of Cebu called the commercial district. Now, if you want to go buy hardware, commercial grade hardware, First of all, they don't have anything in stock. Everything is going to be ordered. Come back tomorrow. Come back next week. It's the most worthless place I've ever been in my entire life, to go to 12 hardware stores that say, yes, we have what you want, and when you get there, they don't have it. Well, yes, but we can order, all right, order it for me. When will it be here? Well, they go to their manager, an hour later they come back, they say, so we can't order it, but come back tomorrow, maybe it'll be in stock. It's the most worthless Cebu hardware stores in the North Reclamation area, all of them across the board. I went to maybe 12 to buy a rebar bender. The same worthless conversation. Yes, we can get it. Sit down for an hour, pick one out of a book. You talk to the manager. They're going to find out. Come back after lunch. Anyway, no one knows what they're doing in the hardware store business in Cebu. But forget that. You have to go to a place called the North Reclamation Area. Now, in the daytime, it's a trucking where they store cargo containers and they store empty boxes. They have reefer boxes that they store there. They have boxes. They don't sell boxes there. They don't sell boxes in the North Reclamation Area. If you're thinking about going to get one, forget it. It's like finding hen's teeth. So when you get there, every time a car, a motorcycle, tricycle, or a bus, or a truck goes by, it makes a white dust cloud, as if from a dry, powdery substance that's in the street. This is Cebu. This is not far from the city. What that white, powdery substance is in the North Reclamation Area and or what's called the Commercial District is, if you look on the side of the road, all the sewers in the North Reclamation Area, they're all overflowing with septic water. All of them in that whole area. I don't know why, but it's the truth. Okay, it's going somewhere, should be going somewhere, but all the streets in that whole entire area have septic effluents raw. Personal napkins, toilet paper, and hard and soft, hard and soft, okay? Now, it's in the street, that stuff. You see it in the street, because when the sewer overflows, it's like when you flush your toilet, but it's overflowing into the street. So you see that stuff in the street. But it's hot in Cebu. It's hot there. So that stuff is now in a puddle next to the curb, because it overflowed off the curb into a puddle, and the puddle could be 8 or 9 feet wide. The streets are 50, 60 feet across. So the puddle could be 8 feet wide from the left side of the street and 8 feet wide from the right side of the street. So when a car or a truck or a bus or a tricycle or a motorcycle pulls into that, and all on the sidewalks up in that whole area are little food stands. Now, they don't wash their plates in the puddle, but the water that they wash their plates with, that they bring with them, goes into the puddles. So the puddles are there all the time. Well, when a car goes through the puddle, the water and the solids and the gray and the dark water goes onto the tires and the chassis, and then it goes back into the middle of the street, and it comes off the car, lands on the hot black tarmac of the street, which is white because it's full of white powder. It dries, and it turns into a white powder. So when the truck goes down the block and makes that big dust devil cloud behind the truck or the car, the bus, the motorcycle, or the tricycle, that white powder is dried sewage. That's what it is. So let's not make any. And if you think that cloud from a 45-foot, a 63-foot rig hauling a container down the road is not a big cloud, it might last 40 or 50 seconds, the cloud. And they're just one right after the other. So you have to wear well, you should wear a face mask, but it gets onto your skin and it burns your skin. Okay, so where were we going with this? I'm going to tell you about the dirtiest place I have ever seen in my life. And I have never seen a dirtier community than North. Okay, let's get this right. Cebu runs that way. So it would be east of the North Reclamation area. You leave, when we picked up my container, it was 6 o'clock, supposed to be at 6, it was 10 o'clock at night. So we went east, up the coast, to where the cargo ships, that the truck drives onto the cargo ship with the container. The streets are not much wider than 15 feet, and people have little sari stores set up on the curb and hot dog stands, street food. The sewer water in that area is 3 to 5 inches deep in many of the streets. The children play in the sewer water. They have these little piece of styrofoam with a sail on it, and you go through from the North Reclamation area up to the. If you want to do a documentary on poverty, this is where you want to be. And you go through about 2 miles of that stuff, and you get to the port where the trucks with the cargo containers go on the ships, and there are troughs 6-8 feet wide and 5 feet deep of septic stuff going into the bay, into the river, into the Cebu Straits. You can see it just flows by you, everything. It's like amazing. And there are people swimming in that at midnight to cool off, and fishing with seine nets and fishing poles. This place. So Cebu has a dark side to it, that's for sure. Now, then we got on the ship. They brought the container. And they brought another container that I had bought, empty container, because I had to transfer the goods from one container to the other. They have some kind of law where if you ship a container across the ocean, you can't buy that container. They can put that container in a lot empty and you can buy it tomorrow, but when it's full, you can't buy it. You gotta let it get empty, and then they can buy it tomorrow. So I had to buy another one, because it has to go back to customs to get recertified or decertified. I don't know. So I had 2 containers, 2 trucks, two 63-foot rigs. That is one of the most. If you want to do an expose on poverty, that's where you want to be. Go to the commercial area, and so Cebu. Okay, now another thing about Cebu is if you go to the Bureau of Immigration in Cebu. Now you want to see sewage. Cebu is the place to go. So when I got to the Philippines, I stayed at a hotel, and I had 29 days, and then you have to register. So I went. First of all, you got to have a shirt with a collar and long pants. Otherwise, they won't let you into the facility. Now, I had long pants in a bag, and I had a shirt with a collar in a bag. So I got changed on the property. But if you don't have a shirt with a collar, you don't get onto the Bureau of Immigration, the visa office, But if you want to see something funny, face the visa office and then look over to the left and walk over to the left. Just the side of the building of the visa office, there's a trough, I tell you, 40 feet wide, 3 or 4 feet deep in the middle. and a foot on either side, like a river. And it's a river. It's a river. We're talking about a flowing river of fast-moving water with debris in it. We'll just call it debris. Everything. Sanitary napkins, baby diapers, the plastic wrapper from the baby diapers, toilet paper, everything you could imagine. If it comes from a bathroom or a kitchen and it could be flushed or thrown into that canal, that is one heck of an amazing, it's an adventure. I never saw that before. I lived in New York. We have underground septic sewer treatment that grinds all that stuff up and turns it into drinkable water. That stuff just goes straight into the bay of Cebu Straits. So Cebu is good if you want to go to malls and you want to go to supermarkets, movie theaters, electronics. Great place. Okay, now, I've never been to Manila, so we won't talk about Manila. Let's move on. Let's talk about Davao. Okay, Davao, the city of Davao. It is an amazingly beautifully clean and safe city. I am talking, it had to be the cleanest city I was ever in my life. You won't even see a gum wrapper on the street. You won't see a cigarette butt on the street of Davao city proper. And at the time I went there in April 21st of 2016 to go meet Daisy and her mom and her nephew, there was a place called People's Park, and we stayed at a hotel across the street from People's Park. And they had all these beautiful fiberglass statues of elephants and all the Disney characters, Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever beautiful fantasy cartoons or movies that were made throughout all of history. The Knights of Arabia, Aladdin, all of that. They had that. What a beautiful place. Free. The park was free. But to get into the park, they searched our bags. I don't know what, I think they searched our bags for cigarettes and matches or a lighter. You weren't allowed to bring that into the park. There was no smoking in the park, and they took your cigarettes when you went in. And I don't remember having cigarettes. I may have smoked, but I didn't have any. But they took my lighter. They gave it back. But that place, the People's Park, what an amazing place. There were hundreds of these beautiful statues. They're all gone now. I don't know why they took them out of the park. No one knows why. They just took all these hundreds of millions of pesos of statues. Some of the statues were 20 feet high and 40 feet wide, or back, side to side. All beautiful fiberglass with detail in the eyes. You look into the eyes of a gorilla, it looked like a real gorilla, I think. I never saw a real gorilla. But, yeah, that was a beautiful city. The malls there, walk around there at night. But it's a city, okay? But it's safe. You don't have to worry about walking around the city of Davao at night. I think it was rated the third or fourth best, safest city in the whole world. And that's actually when we went there, when I think President Duterte he was either the mayor or the president, but either way, it was a safe place. That was a beautiful place, and they have gorgeous malls there, huge malls, beautiful malls. And we went around, Daisy took me around, and that was a nice place to visit. But they don't have so much beaches there. They have a few, but we didn't go to any of those. So that leaves me with the title of the video. Don't go there, come here to Bohol. Because Bohol is the best bang for the buck of any place I ever was in the Philippines. Now, all of the places I mentioned I had been to at least once to Bacolod, twice to Dumaguete, twice to Puerto Princesa, twice to Roxas, 3 times, no, it was 3 times to Puerto Princesa, 3 times to Roxas, and 3 times to the Underground River. I did the Underground River from the ocean, the water, twice, and from above land, twice, of the 3 trips I went to. And in another round in that area, I just went around the island. We went to different places. They say it's a waterfall. It's not. It is a waterfall, and it's a beautiful little waterfall. It's about 50 feet high, and you walk there from not so far from the Underground River, and there's a zip line there. But so I've been there. I've been to Bacolod. I've been to Dumaguete. I've been to Palawan. I've been to Coron. I've been to El Nido. I've been to every part of Cebu that you could possibly imagine. There's one place in Cebu that I went to, and to be fair, it's called Bantayan Island. And we got there the 21st of September, and there was a typhoon, cyclone, that was about striking on the outskirts of Bantayan Island. So my experience on Bantayan Island was worthless. I wasted $500 because I don't know what the internet is with or without the typhoon, but we didn't have internet and the wind hadn't started yet at all. Nothing, zero. Take 20 minutes for a cell phone message to go from one cell phone to the other. The airport on Bantayan Island is closed indefinitely. They don't know when it's going to open up. The skydiving place that I was interested in talking to somebody about it, although I don't think they'd let me go at my weight, that was closed. I wanted to go to another store that built stuff custom. It was a scuba diving shop. That was closed. I went to a white sand beach, which was a beautiful white sand beach. It says white sand beach. But at low tide, you can't go in the water because it's 900 feet to deep water. At low tide, it's mud for 900 feet. I went to the ruins. It's a filthy, disgusting, smelly place that somehow has a reputation as being a place for a tourist location to go to. It's just an old broken down building where everybody uses it as a bathroom. They just lean up against the wall, both 1 and 2s. It's disgusting. And we stayed there for about an hour. I tried to make a drone video, but there was no signal. For 6 days, there was no signal on Bantayan Island. So I know that part of it was due to the rain and the storm, but that's ridiculous. So I couldn't use, you could use the cell phone. I'd send Daisy a message as a test. She'd be sitting next to me, and a half hour later the message would come in. That place is, and there's nothing else to do. I just named everything except the cave, Akdan Cave. And we got there at 10:30 in the morning. It was closed because too many people had gone there already. It has a limit of how many people can go to Akdan Cave each day. So Bantayan Island, if you just want to sit on a white sand beach, that's the place to go. If you want to do anything else, wasting your money. In fact, I talked to a friend of mine yesterday that wants to buy land on Bantayan Island. I said, "What, are you insane?" He goes, No, I know 2 people that want to buy land in Bantayan. Right now, 2 people. One, because they want to raise children where there's the minimum outside influence. It's like living back in the 1940s, Bantayan Island. There's nothing to do there. Nothing. There's nothing to do. When I say nothing, I mean skydiving, which is $350, number one, but it was closed. Akdan Cave, I don't know how much the service fee for that, but that was closed. And it closes every day at a certain time because there's too many people. The government only allows a certain amount. The airport closed. The beaches at low tide where I stayed, Rick's Paradise Resort, high tide, spectacular views. Low tide, 900 feet of mud to where you could go in the water. No coral reefs on the island. You got to go to another island, and the other island, the service fees are $60 to $238 per day per person. Okay, so I would not recommend Bantayan Island unless you live in Cebu and you just want to go sit on a white sand beach. Then Bantayan Island is a great place to go. Other than that, they have fantastic singular restaurant on Bantayan Island, the Cuckoo Bar and Grill. 12 meals, 12 perfect meals, 12 different meals. Well, 12 different meals. I had hamburgers for 5 days. Sometimes I had 2 in one day, but they were the best hamburger in the Philippines. So Bantayan Island is not where I would spend a vacation dollar again. If my friend asked me on Skype what I thought about Bantayan Island, I said, you have to be insane to move there. There's nothing to do there. There's no infrastructure. The roads, they're building new roads. He goes, yeah, that's why I want to move there. I want to raise my children where there's no outside influence. I go, what are you talking about, dude? They have the internet. I mean, when the internet is working, they're going to see all the stuff that, you don't want your children to see. He goes, yeah, but they won't have access to it. So they'll have access to it, not as children, you're right. They're not, it's the low crime area, very low crime island, very low crime. That's one guy, because he wants to raise children. The other guy wants to raise cows, beef cattle, and supply the island with beef on the hoof. He wants to get a couple of acres at least, and he wants to raise. He told me that you can't just bring cattle from America and put them in the Philippines because the change of the weather, the heat, they won't reproduce so easy. So you got to get a cattle that's from the Philippines, and then he explained the whole process to me. Then you buy sperm from USDA grade A cows, whatever kind of cows that is, the kind of cows that they raise for beef. You buy sperm from a bull. You bring it there in, I guess you bring it there in dry ice. I don't know much about transportation of sperm from one country to the other, but it's for the cows. You buy it. So you get a local cow, and then you put the sperm in a syringe and you put it in the cow, and then you get an offspring that's partially American beef and partially Philippines beef. And after 2 or 3 generations, you get a strong beef cow, because you said the cows here in the Philippines are not good for beef. They don't have enough meat on them. But he knows about cows and beef, and apparently he knows about sperm. And that's the part that's a little scary. He knew everything there was to know about how to get the sperm, what to do with it, how to transport it. You're an expert on sperm. And we had a good laugh. It was on, oh my God. It was on the Skype. So we were talking about the transportation, international transportation. I said, you know they have rules about transferring certain types of fluids and meat. He goes, oh, you have to have a special sperm transportation permit. I'm like, okay, you know about sperm. I'll look for land for you. I'll send out I'll call up some real estates around here and we'll find out. And then we have the travel gentleman again, the Lotto retirement strategist. Message retracted. Oh man, I'm sorry that I missed that. Thank you very much, retirement strategist. Oh, he's being a bad person. Ooh, we're gonna still. Thank you very much, retirement strategist. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so we had quite the laugh when he was telling me that he knew everything there was about transferring bull sperm from one country to another. There's permits, there's medical certificates. What do I know about transferring sperm from one country to another? I don't know. Anyway, that was one of the funniest conversations I ever had. Thank you very much, retirement lotto strategist. Row your sperm from America to the Philippines. You get the permits, you get the syringe, you put it in the bovines. Okay, so yeah, I don't know what happened to. All right, well, thank you very much. I don't know what happened to the comments though, and I'm okay with that. He was having a little fun. I had a little fun. You had a little fun. Somebody's gonna make some sound clips of my videos. They're gonna have a little fun. Okay, so now we're back. He's back. Okay, let's go back up to the comments. How did that guy get on my channel? How did he get on it? He must have 100 little soccer accounts. Let's go see who he is. We have a troll. We're being trolled.
Thanks for stopping by the Philippine Experience.
We're being trolled. Okay, so where did I stay for $25 a night? In El Nido? Well, that was back in 2014, and I don't know that the prices went up. That was where I was. So, hey, that's Gary. Hey, Gary. Hey, thanks for stopping by. That's Gary and Shaw, I think. Yeah, that's who that is. Gary and Shaw, stop by. Thank you. So, where did I stay? And Gary, it was an inexpensive place. El Nido. I have a video on my other channel. Maybe I'll send it to you. I don't remember the name of the hotel, but I think it was less than $25 a night, actually. There were these. I asked the bus driver for the cheapest place, and he stopped in front of a hotel. He goes, "That's the cheapest place," and it was. I don't think it was $20. I don't think it was $25 a night. I'll get with you on that. I would have to look up on my other channel, El Nido, and they're making it hard to search for your old videos in case you didn't notice. So, but I know it wasn't more than that. I know for a fact. I don't even think it was that much. No breakfast, no foods. But that it was under $25. It was not that much. And could have been, let's see, when did I go there? It was probably before Thanksgiving. So it was out of season. And I was the only person in the hotel. There was nobody else. So I don't know. But that's where I stayed, in El Nido. And it was not on the beach or anything like that. So thanks for stopping by. And let's see where we are. Scott, what's up, Michael? How goes the life of Gorilla Video Maker? Hey, that was a long time ago. Gary was here. Sorry, I missed your comment, Gary. Okay. Let's Arthur Yellow. Oh, Arthur Yellow. Yellow is the color of God, baby. You know that. Yellow is the color of God. God chose the color yellow. He made the sun that gives life yellow. His son, who's the giver of life, he represents the Son of God. Son of God, yellow. Jesus was a yellow man, and Scott's saying don't go to small swampy islands that are infested with cobras and poisonous frogs. Yeah, that's what I forgot about Bantayan. They have a species of snake on Bantayan Island that may or may not kill you if it bites you, but it's rare that they bite human beings. But they have poisonous frogs. Now, I don't know how you'd get... If a dog eats one of those poisonous frogs, the dog dies. There's enough poison to kill several humans on the poisonous frogs on Bantayan Island. So if you have children and you go to Bantayan Island and you see a frog, don't let them touch the frogs. And Bantayan Island is a natural preserve. It's a natural wildlife center. So they have lots of creepy crawly things and lots of swamp and marshland on the island, right in the middle of the island. Half a mile from shore, you're going to run into swamps everywhere. The roads, not the main roads, but the side roads are all 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-inch puddles is normal. Bantayan Island is not a place I would ever go again. Scott says the dirtiest place he ever saw was the Cheeto factory, and the Cheeto factory is located on Bantayan Island. That's true. It's the Cheeto factory. I forget all about that. That was, and actually, that's funny that you mentioned the Cheeto factory, because the Cheeto factory was opened up when Gary, the Philippines Experience, came onto a live stream. The Cheeto factory opened up for business. I remember, I watched that live. That was pretty amazing. That was one of the more amazing things that occurred on YouTube in history. So we have Arthur Yellow. Don't go to small swampy islands that are infested with cobras and poisonous frogs. That's true. Scott says the dirtiest place he ever saw was the Cheeto factory. It's a mobile Cheeto factory that's located on Bantayan Island. That's true also. Welcome to the Fazio machine. CFD, good morning, Michael, says CFD. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, CFD, for stopping by. That was nice of you. I appreciate that. CFD comes from an upper education of the population. His wife is highly educated and held prestigious positions in the Philippines. And I thank you for stopping by, CFD. I bet the government would be super excited about starting a new employing industry there on Bantayan. Yeah, well, any kind of infrastructure that's people are going to invest money in the Philippines, they're all for that. That they are. Oh God. Oh yeah, you're number one. You're number one. Hey, Lotto, the Lotto back again, the retirement strategist. Your opinion, Puerto Galera, retired and living on land versus living on a sailboat. You cannot live. Okay. You cannot live on a sailboat here in the Philippines. Please understand. Let me look up. Puerto Galera is, if I remember, right outside Puerto Princesa. Not, I mean, it's in the same general area. Hold on, I'm going to find out where that is. You cannot live on a sailboat in the Philippines. And we got to bang a pot. I'll hold the pot so I don't forget. I forget a lot, so I'm going to hold the pot. Puerto Galera, municipality in the Philippines. Tourist beaches, coastline, majestic. Puerto Galera is part of Palawan. Puerto is part of Palawan. Why is it famous? What part is the best part? Let me find out on a map where that is, because I don't. I know Puerto Galera was in Palawan. Or near there. Is it? Oh, it's not. It's actually part of a different island. Well, I've never been there. The Batangas. I've never been there. Never. Okay, so I don't know about that place. But I will tell you this. Okay? Okay. You asked a serious question. I'm going to tell you everything I know about living on a sailboat in the Philippines. First thing I'm going to tell you is nobody does it. Nobody does it. Nobody lives on a sailboat in the Philippines. In Bohol, in Cebu, or any other place I've ever been to. And there's reasons for that. But first, let's bang a pot and thank you a lot for the money, because this is going to be the most valuable thing you're ever going to hear in your life. Thank you, Mr. Sailboater. Don't bring a sailboat to the Philippines. You cannot draw more than 18 inches of water, or you'll be underwater. Don't think about a deep draft sailboat, or your boat will not be afloat very long. You will make the biggest mistake of your life if you bring a 6-foot keel into the Philippines. You will regret it. There's no sea tow. They have no sea tow. Your boat will be washed upon the rocks, and you will lose everything in your boat. You will get off the boat and go to shore, and tomorrow all your belongings will be no more. They will be salvaged by the locals, and you might get a thank you very much. Salamat. Okay, so now let's say why you cannot, do not, oh dude, man, bringing a sailboat to you. Get back up there. Bringing a sailboat to the Philippines, don't do it. Just don't do it. If you have a deep keel sailboat, deep keel, don't do it. Just don't do it. Number one, I want you to understand something. The nautical charts for the Philippines are garbage. Absolute garbage. There is no way you're going to read a nautical chart and navigate anywhere in the Philippines according to that chart. It's not going to happen. There are places in between these islands that have 12, 14 feet of water. Not deep water, but 12 or 14 feet. And then 2 miles offshore, it's 18 inches deep at low tide. Or the rocks show at low tide. And at high tide, they don't show. and they're not on a nautical chart. They're not buoyed. There's no buoys. There's no caution buoys. The nautical charts are worthless. Unless you're coming into a deep water, this is the only way a nautical chart will work for anybody in the Philippines. Shipping lines, deep water, dredged out, known shipping channels. That's it. After that, I don't care what it says on the chart. It's not right. It might be right. It probably isn't right. And you'll run aground. Don't do it. I looked into this for a year and a half or 2 years. I was going to buy a 46-foot catch, and I don't know anything about sailing, but I was going to sail it to the Philippines. I figured, what the hell, I'll make some videos. No. Don't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't buy it. First of all, it was a ridiculous amount of money, and it was going to take 6 months. So I said, no, I don't want to do that. But when I looked and I talked to people, Tony, more specifically at Cebu Marina. I think that was the name of it. The guy's name was Tony. Everything was a scam. Everything. Everything was a scam. Everything. It was a deep water port somewhere on the east end of Cebu, east of the city. And you could dock your boat there for $800 a month plus electric and water. That was not the problem, though. You also had to hire a security guard for 60,000 pesos for 2 security guards, morning and night, a day, to guard your boat. Okay, because the marina had no security, and he would not guarantee you any security on his marina. It was $800 a day, and you supply your own security. That's number one. Number two, that was a deep water canal. It was $800 a month, no contract. You could get there, and he could say, well, it's $1,200 a month. Okay, so all right. So that was the port in Cebu, and that's where I wanted to go. But then I started looking at nautical charts, and then I started talking to dive masters in Bohol and in Cebu. They said, no, you can't operate a sailboat here with a deep draft, 6 foot. Forget it. It's not going to happen. Because there's no marks on the buoys. I mean, there's no marks on the charts for low water. So you'll be running across 12 feet of water, and you'll hit a rock jetty that's under 18 inches of water, and it's not marked. And then if you do crash and your boat sinks, well, you got to go to shore, right? You can't stay there. Well, within 24 hours, your boat will be empty. So no, you can't do that. Now, Puerto Galera, I don't know. I've heard of that place. I've never been there. But I wanted to go there, but I never did. But it doesn't matter, because are you going to go to Puerto Galera and park the boat and live offshore? You're going to want to tool around the Philippines. Well, you can't do that. This is what I'm saying. The boats with deep water drafts, the dive boats, they stay in main channels, or they know the water because they grew up on the bays and estuaries and islands here. But you're not going to, nothing like that is going to happen. There was a fella, he lives behind me, no more, but he lived behind me. He had a sailboat. It was parked right outside where I live. And it was about a 50-footer. So he, who had the sailboat, had a wife and a baby. Wherever he brought that from, I think it was Australia. He brought it here, and he had a Boston whaler on it, like a 12-foot, 11-foot Boston whaler. He brought it here, and he parked it outside the reef. But when I talked to him about it, he explained to me that I was right about the charts and there's no navigation. So wherever he went with the sailboat, he knew that he had to stay in deep water. But you just can't tool around the Philippines. So if you had a boat and you had a 12-foot whaler on it with a 30-horse, 20-horse engine, and you leave your boat alone, probably not going to be anything on the boat in the morning, and you come back. And it's not like America. So he brought his sailboat here. He rented my landlord's brother's house, the man who died last year, with his wife and kid, and lived in the house with Mario. And then he would tool around this area with his 11 or 12-foot Boston whaler. He never moved the sailboat again. And the other man next door to me, Jonas, he lived on the sailboat all day, 24/7, 7 days a week. He never left the sailboat. And this is in 2014. And I would go out and swim out to Jonas and talk to him, and we'd go swimming, and then I would go back to shore. But you can't do this. You cannot, you have to have security on your boat. You can't tool around in what you think is deep water. And if you leave your boat overnight, it might get, everything in the boat might disappear. If the Filipinos leave their boats out in the water here, they don't leave any gas in their gas tanks. They drain the gas out of their gas tank at night. They leave their anchors and their anchor line in there, but they're Filipinos. They're Filipino fishermen. They don't bother anything. But you, as somebody else, no, it ain't going to happen. Don't do it. And if you do it and you run aground, they don't have sea tow out here. They don't have anything like that. You're not going to call somebody up on the radio and get your boat towed off the rocks and maybe salvage it. It might be there for a day, a week, a month. There's no... I haven't seen Coast Guard people, but I've never seen a Coast Guard boat here. I've seen Coast Guard come on at the ports. They talk to the captain for a minute, and they leave before the captain disembarks. But I don't know that a Coast Guard boat would come and tow you off anyway. I know they have Coast Guard boats, but I don't know that that's their job. It's not like America. So I don't know about that either. I would not bring a sailboat here. And if I was an American, I would not leave a motor on a boat offshore. I just wouldn't do it. You know how much the motors are? $1,500–$1,800 for an inexpensive piece of junk motor. I don't think that they would steal it where I live here. I don't think so. But they might. And if they do, it's gone. So Filipinos don't... Nobody's motor has ever been stolen anywhere where I live. And there's hundreds of them out there. But they're Filipinos. So I would not own a boat here and park it offshore. I don't care what kind of boat. I don't care. Now, I might get an inflatable. I thought about that. But I would not. I'd take it out of the water one at the end of the day. So sailboat, Puerto Galera, I don't know anything about Puerto Galera, but I know you're not tooling around the Philippines in a sailboat. The nautical charts are garbage. They're worthless, completely garbage, worthless charts. I've seen them. Everybody agrees that they're worthless, and don't do it. That's my answer. Captain Craig Humphrey. I don't know. I'll ask him. I'll tell you in my next live stream. How much is the sperm? I don't know anything about sperm transportation. That's a good question. I would imagine. I don't know. I don't even want to speculate on the price of sperm in the Philippines. That's it. That's the other channel. That's the sperm channel. Ah, oh my God. Formerly County Fort. Hey, Dr. Yen Lo. I remember you. I remember you. You've been friends on my channel for years. Ghost Prepper. County Fort. I think you were even a member of my Patreon for a couple, maybe a year or so. Thanks for stopping by. Ghost Prepper. Hello. Which project have I been working on? Oh, I was cutting the. I only cut out a thorn bush to clear a path for an emergency. What they call a fire ladder. There was a fire ladder next door. They were told to clear the brush away from the ladder, and they don't. The woman couldn't do it, so I did it for her. Scott del Fuego. It's the north end of Mendoro. Okay. And Ghost Prepper, I don't know who you are, but if you want to become my friend where I give you inside information, throw $100 on the board. I don't answer personal questions like that unless I know who you are, and then I only do it on Skype or in the mail. I have no idea who you are. I could go to your channel. If you have no content on your channel, well, you're probably going to get blocked. Yep, you're about ready to get blocked. Yeah, you've been online for a long time. No videos, no playlists, no videos, no playlists, no channels. You joined in 2006, and you're asking personal questions. One more personal question, and you get blocked. Okay, how's that sound? Good? Good. Glad to hear it. Okay, so Scott Del Fuego says Michael Fazio is an expert in maritime subjects. He has owned ocean races, captained huge barges, I've owned a boat since I was 5 years old. And my dad was a tugboat captain. Yes. Davao, well, I'm not going to say that, my Philippines experience. I liked Davao, actually. I mean, I went there to meet Daisy, but I actually enjoyed Davao because of People's Park had the statues in it. And every day we went there, and we went to the green, it was the green something buffet. Oh, unbelievably good food. Let me finish Scott's question, Gary. Thanks for stopping by again. We'll talk about Davao because there isn't these. Gary's right about Davao to some degree. There's not much to do there, but it's a safe city. I mean, if you want to live in a city and where it's warm all the time, hot all the time, and Davao's not a bad place to live because it's a safe place to live. But other than that, we'll talk about that in a moment. So, my dad been a tugboat captain since before I was born. In the early 1950s, I grew up across the street from the water since I was 5. My uncle owned a marina since I was 10. My dad's been a tugboat captain. I've been on thousands of hours of tugboats from the time I was born. He would take me on the weekends on the tugboat, and I'd just sit on the chair and watch him run the tugboat. So I know a lot about land. And then I owned boats all my life, worked on the water. I worked on the water for a short time as a dock builder on the ocean, on barges and cranes. Then I bought a barge and a crane and a little small pusher tugboat. And then I moved to Florida and owned an ocean racer and several other boats. So I know a lot about the water and navigation, and you don't want to bring a boat with a deep draft to the Philippines. So now we'll go to Gary. Thanks, Scott. And we'll go to Gary, and I am one of 3 people that passed my captain's exam from the U.S. Coast Guard back in 1997, the first time I took the test. So I know a little bit about navigation and piloting vessels. The Philippines experience says Davao is a shithole. Been there many times. Been to People's Park, not that great. Well, were you at People's Park when they had the, were you at
Thanks for stopping by the Philippine Experience.
Were you at People's Park when they had the statues there? I don't know. I thought that was a lot of fun. For the Philippines, it's probably the nicest array of statues and monuments that they had in the Philippines. So there wasn't much to do. There's not much to do in the Philippines. And when you're in the Philippines, People's Park, it was a good deal. Oh, I don't know anything about Angeles City at all. I've never been to Angeles City at all. I know nothing about that type of an environment. And I don't know anything about any place where there's a lot of bars and clubs. I don't know anything about it. I've never been in the Philippines in 8 years now. I've never been inside a bar or a discotheque. I don't ever plan on going in one either. So I wouldn't know about that. So let's get back to where is a good place to spend your Christmas dollars. Bohol. Actually, of all the places that I've been, and I started saying all the places I mentioned in the beginning, I've been to those places. And I was living in Bohol and then traveled there and then traveled back to Bohol and I had an apartment here. Travel there, travel back. I wish I never traveled out of Bohol. I spent $10,000 in a year on vacations to all those different places that I said, and it was just a waste of money. I ended up living in Bohol, but I had to find out for myself. So Bohol has, right from the beginning, one of the dive masters in Alona Beach said he's been all over the Philippines and he chose to live in Bohol because he's been all over the Philippines. But I wanted to make sure, and I did. And every time you go away here in the Philippines, it costs you $1,000. Okay, you think one person, how much could it cost to go to the Underground River? $1,000 is what you're going to spend for hotels for 2 weeks minimum. 10 days, $1,000, $1,200 for 10 days. You have a lot of money in transportation, a lot of time, hotels, foods. It's $65 a day when you get to where I was diving in Palawan for the dive boat, and $60 a day for the hotel. It's $120 a day. No food is included in that. So when I went away, I went on diving vacations except the Bacolod, and Bacolod was just an empty shell of a city. Garbage. There's nothing to do there. And rained for 14 days. I was there for 14 days. So I had something else to do, but it wasn't at the end of the day, it was a waste of time and money. So Gary is back. Hey, Gary. Yeah, we got to give Gary a free pot. We got to do that one to the Gary. Gary the Truth Sayer. Gary from the Philippines Experience. Hey, actually, Gary has a channel, and he has a beautiful lady named Shaw that he's getting married to. So if you guys want to go. He does videos about the Philippines too when he comes back. He's a much better editor than I am, though. But Gary says, there is plenty to do on Bantayan Island. There is plenty to do on Bantayan Island. You can lay around on bed all day, lay in bed all day, said Gary. You can lay in bed all day and hate on other YouTubers. That is something to do. I agree with you. You can lay in bed all day and hate on other YouTubers. Only you would know this. Only. Yeah, that's true. That was free. That was Libre Bang a Pot. And Gary, nice to see you back, Gary. So you know what I could do? I could get your channel link here. If I could get my mouse to work. The battery just died. I'm going to try to get your channel link up there. Okay. I'm going to go to Gary's channel. And this fella has... Oh, Gary is also a diver, and his girlfriend Shah, they go scuba diving together. So this is an adventure, a man that does adventures. Let's get this over here. We're going to post the name of his channel, and then we're going to get the link for his channel, and we're going to post that 3 times. Because Gary is a real content creator. He really has videos up where he goes scuba diving, zip lining with his girlfriend Shah, and they're getting married. Unless they're married already, I don't know about that. So let's get Gary. So Gary is a real content creator, and anytime I usually see somebody that has real content, I'll post their channel. And yeah, Gary's right, though. There's plenty to do on Bantayan. You can lay on your bed all day. All day you can lay on your bed. Like Adonis. And you can flex your arm, too. Don't forget the part where when you're laying on the bed and you go like this. And you make like you didn't do it on purpose. That's funny. Oh, that was a fun one. Like Adonis, like that guy on Star Trek, Apollo, I think it was. Winston H says you can sit in the aircon, sit in living room, sit in spare room, go on YouTube, obsess, sit in living room, look at mural, obsess. Sit in kitchen. Sit in kitchen, go back to bedroom. Cheeto factory time. Winston, that was good, Winston. Oh my God. And oh, that was hilarious. I remember the good old days. who would have thought if you have 6 rooms, you could obsess from 6 different rooms the same way. So now getting back to what you can do here in Bohol. Bohol has it all. Thanks, Gary, for the laugh. Thanks, Winston H, for the laugh. That was a good laugh. I cried a little bit. So in Bohol, they have reef diving right outside where I live. Is a wall dive right outside. We're talking from where I'm sitting, 450 feet from where I'm sitting, is a 60-foot wall dive, all live coral reef. They have for $30 a person, you go to a live reef in an ocean habitat, protected species, protected habitat, a protected wildlife habitat with a billion. There might be a billion fish. You could go with a snorkel, or you could go diving there also. You might see there might be a billion fish on the reef. The whole reef is protected. You can't fish. I think it's 500 feet away from the reef. I'm not sure, but there's hundreds of thousands of beautiful fish, octopus, seahorses, turtles. Just if you went that way 2 miles, Balikasog Island. You have Dumaluman Beach, which is a beautiful white sand beach, which is boring. Sand beaches are boring. You have Alona Beach for a lot of restaurants and 1 5-star buffet. But on my beach, which is called Talisai Beach, or Dragon Head of Panglao, you have the Henin, which is a 5-star restaurant with spectacular views and pools, and a buffet, 5-star buffet, 5-star dinner buffet. You have the Modala Hotel, 5-star hotel, 5-star food, 5-star beach. Beautiful place. I have these videos of my drone videos that I've been doing. That somebody asked me what I've been doing, but I've been doing a lot of drone videos. Ghost Prepper, I think it was. So I've been doing a lot of videos, but if you don't follow my channel, you wouldn't know. So I've been doing a lot of drone videos for a specific reason. So I have the videos of the Modala Hotel. I have videos of the Bellevue Hotel from drone footage. I have videos I'm going to be making this week or next week of Alona Beach. I'm going to do the Henin Resort again. And then I'm going to do the Best Western Resort. And then I'm going to do one more hotel on Alona Beach. But then you'll see the whole beach. And so that's just in Alona Beach. Now they do have 2 malls, and each mall has an electronics store in ICM NBQ Mall. Not the highest amount, not the most various products, not the most varied products, not like Cebu. If you go to Cebu, you go to the Ayala Mall, the 3rd floor, I think it is, there might be 50 plus electronic stores. You can buy anything. It doesn't matter what you want. But also at the SM Mall down, which would be west of the city, that has a lot of stores, but nothing like the Ayala Mall. So the Ayala Mall. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff to do in Bohol. They have a river cruise, which I would never go on. They have something called Chocolate Hills, which is a bunch of bumps in the earth, but they're all evenly spaced. I could care less. I used to remove mountains that look like that so that we could put, foundations in for houses. So that don't interest me at all. And Scott says, the tourism ad says have a ball in Bohol. I like that. have a ball in Bohol. I like that. Thanks, Scott. I'll use that in one of my next videos. I never saw that. So we have white sand beaches. Yeah, we have real white sand beaches. Now, the white sand beaches in Alona Beach, the beach is beautiful, the water's clean, but the reef is dead. But you can get on a boat. You can hire a private boat for $300 for the day. 300. $150 for the day for a 4-passenger. $150. But you could hire a 10-passenger for $300. And that'll bring you. Then you're going to have a private boat that'll bring you to the best dive spots and the best snorkel spots that you can't get to with a commercial boat. So Balakasog Island is a commercial tourist resort. So if you want for only $30 a day per person, you leave it around 6 o'clock in the morning. You get on the boat. It brings you out to where the sardines are, which are about that big, and then you'll see 1,000 dolphins feeding on the sardines. I mean, there are 1,000 dolphins. You might see 200 come out of the water every minute or so, but there's 1,000 dolphins out there. Then you go to one of the other Virgin Island, which is just the whitest sand beach you ever saw in your life. And you stay there for about an hour. It's so hot there. They don't have any clouds over that island. No smoke, no clouds. The sky is blue. Same over Balakasog. They don't have enough energy to cover up the sky out there. So let me tell you something. It's hot out there. You're going to get sunburn in 15 minutes. So bring a long sleeve shirt. And Balakasog Island, you can go turtle watching, or you can go to the protected reef. And also, I'm going to just pay attention to this. It's going to be the most important thing you ever did when you're in the Philippines. If you see a rope in the water, Gary will say that I'm right about this. If you see a rope in the water that's got buoy stringed along it, strung along the rope, do not, don't touch the rope. Don't lean on the rope. Don't put the rope underneath your arm and hang out with the rope underneath your arm talking to your buddy or your girlfriend. Don't touch the rope. Swim under the rope. Don't touch the rope. It's got some weird bacteria on it, like a fire coral bacteria, but you won't feel it right away. Oh, no. And it's like a slime, and it gets underneath your arm, and then it goes on your chest, and it gets on your forearm. Or if it's on your hands and you scratch your neck. Or you won't feel it for a few minutes, but then it's too late. And it'll be 3 days of the most intense scratching and burning that you've ever experienced. Don't touch the ropes that hold the floats. Don't do it. So there's other beaches in Bohol as well. You go up by Anda. Anda has a beautiful white sand beach, but no live coral anymore. All the coral is dead. It used to be quasi-reef like environment. It's gone. There's no more. Then you go out to Ubay. Ubay. It's an old fishing village. I would not recommend going there, but it's something to do. And then on the that's east. On the north side of Bohol, if you go up the road that runs up the ocean on the north side of Bohol, if you want to see what fish farms look like, you go up that road on the north side of the island. You go up the south side of the island to Ubai and come back on the north side. All the way up the south side, you're going to see beaches. Not all white sand. Do not make a mistake and go to a beach near a town. The fecal matter is very high count. Don't make that mistake. Anda is a small town, so you could go to the white sand beach in Anda and go swimming. But the other bigger towns that are east and west of Anda, I would be very careful before I went into the water. I would look it up to see if there was a fecal matter chart and look it up first. Now, I personally would not swim anywhere at all on Alona Beach. I would not go in the water because of all the effluents that come off the hotel. I would not. But half a mile up the road in either side of the east or west, I would go swimming, but not on Alona Beach proper. But here on my beach, behind the Bellevue in Dragon Head, the water's clean. But not at an outgoing tide. I don't swim so much on outgoing tides. The smell, you get a lot of waste coming from the city on an outgoing tide. I try to only swim on incoming tides. There's a lot to learn about living in the Philippines. We don't have any sewage treatment plants here. I've been in sewage treatment plants in America. I don't know, they're 3 and 4 stories down in the ground, below the ocean, believe it or not, below the river, below the East River and below the Atlantic Ocean. Acres, tens of acres of underground treatment. You wouldn't even know. They have roads and parks and actually have buildings on top of them. But I would not go in the water in most places in the Philippines. Not again. Not after this infection on my leg is finally clearing up. I'm very, very, very aware of where I go. I check the fecal chart for the area that I'm going to go in, and if it's high, I don't go in the water. It's not complicated. Don't go in the water just randomly outside of any big city because it's full of bacteria. So let's go back. All right, no more comments. Okay, I'll give you guys a minute or so. If somebody has a quick question, I'll let that, if I can answer it, I'll do that. Thanks for stopping by, Gary. Ghost Prepper, My Philippines Experience, The Philippines Experience, Craig Humphrey. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know anything about Angeles City. Canny Ford, Dr. Yen Lo, thank you. Lotto Retirement Strategist, thank you. Salamat, thank you very much. Scott Del Fuego, thank you. Thank you all for stopping by. Thanks for the super chat. And if I showed you how hard it's raining, it's been raining. We're in the rainy season now. Oh, another thing about vacationing in the Philippines, if you got this far because you got nothing else to do with your life and you're sitting there watching me in my shack, do not come to the Philippines between Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's going to be a waste of vacation dollars. Every day it rains. Almost every day we have a torrential downpour. So if you don't like rain, this is the rainy season. Rainy season ends right after Christmas, after New Year's. And then that's the most expensive time of the year, but it's the nicest time of the year. It's sunny, and with the lowest temperature of 88 or 90, 87 sometimes. If you get really lucky, it'll go down to 86. So after New Year's, the rainy season ends. But like now, I'm home because of the rain. Yesterday, I got lucky. I went out to meet... I heard a friend of mine was sick, very sick. The man, nah, he's not really my friend. I don't. It was the first bar slash hotel I stayed in when I got to Bahal. That's where I met a lot of people that I knew, stayed in touch with for a long time, till the lockdown. And I said, you know what, let me go see how he's doing, because Alona Beach is opening up. So I went to his bar. Now, like I said, he was a very nice man. And I'm not going to say anything bad about him, because the guy, everybody loves the guy. He owned a bar. He smoked about 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and he drank a lot. I don't know what he drank. I don't remember what he drank, but he drank a lot. Drank more alcohol than any other person I ever saw drink alcohol in my life. Never got drunk, never got disrespectful, never got loud, never had an argument with anybody, and everybody that walked into his bar loved him. Loves him. So I said, let me go down there, because I want to do the Alona Beach videos, and I said, let me go take a look. I found out that he had cancer. So I don't know. He didn't come to the bar last night. I waited till 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then I did that Best Western video. But he's only, I don't think he's 58 years old, 57, 58 years old. I'm not going to say his name, but anyway, he's got to go to another country for treatment, because they don't have the type of treatment he needs here in the Philippines, or the quality of treatment. I don't know. I didn't talk to him. And when I do talk to him, I'm not going to ask him about it. But so I'm walking down the beach last night, Alona Beach. I'm figuring out a good place to start the drone. And I met a girl I know from years ago, long time ago. She said, hey, Michael, how you doing? So we started talking. Not a girlfriend, just somebody I knew from Alona Beach, because I lived there. I lived in that hotel for about 10 days. Bar, hotel, restaurant. So then I'm sitting there looking, and there's a fellow. He says hello. And I know him. I don't know how I know him, but I know him. And then the other fella, he says hello. And they're both with their, I guess that one is definitely with his wife. He introduced his wife, but the other man, one is 70, looks like he's 60 or younger. The other guy's 82, 80 years, 80? No, my landlord's 81, okay. He's 80 years old. He's with a 25-year-old girl. And he knew me. And he tells me his name, and I'm going, the Great? He goes, yeah, that's me. I'm going, wow, you remember I made videos about you years ago? He goes, yeah, I remember. And so I met some people that I knew going back to 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, and to the lockdown. We sat down and we had a nice time. One of them has a child, 2.5-year or 3-year-old child. And I made a video of them. And they go there every night. They're there on vacation. So they said they would be back again. I'm not going back to Alona Beach twice in 2 days. That's too much for me. I loaded my videos at 3 o'clock in the morning, and only one of them came out worthwhile, and the rest I'm not real satisfied with. So I'm going to go back to Alona Beach within the next week or so and check it out. Then I forgot how many people knew me. So I'm walking down, I'm going to go into the Best Western. Michael! Yo, Tombok. They're calling me Tombok. And I probably was greeted by 6 or 7 people in a friendly manner, including the person who I made the video, Best Western Hotel. I think I posted it this morning. Let me take a look. I'll post it here. Let's see. I'm trying to stay away from the ugly thoughts. I saw an ugly video last night. Oh my God. I was looking at this video last night. God almighty, man. Some of the people that call their content, I don't know what to say without, I don't want to get into the negativity, let's say that. But I saw a video last night that I was gagging. I was literally gagging. Uh-oh. All right, here we are. Let me post that video. If anybody wants to see a little snippet of Alona Beach. So I'm walking down the beach. Michael! So actually I knew probably with Peter and the other fella, and actually I knew his wife. I remember his wife. I didn't know who she was last night, but then I remembered that they were together going back to 2014. They've been getting together for a long time. But I probably ran into about, well, there was the tour guide, and there was Pete, and the other man and his wife. There was the woman I met on the beach that I wanted to talk to. 5. Another man walking down the path. 6. Another man down by the Hennon. 7. So I ran into 7 people that I know that knew my name. If he gave me $100,000, I couldn't tell you what their names were. But a lot of people, I guess a lot of people watch my videos or know who I am because I've been there for 8. I've been here for 8, going in 5 weeks. What? No, 5 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks. I'll be here 8 years. It's a long time. So it was a nice night. It was. So Alona Beach is a beautiful place to go to if you want to go to a vacation resort. There are some beautiful hotels on Alona Beach. Don't make any mistake about it. The beaches are not what they were. They got washed away from a typhoon, but there's still a little bit of beach left. But it's a very, very let's talk about how it's a tourist location and it's a tourist trap. Okay. So I'm familiar with the prices of tricycles. So a couple of nights ago, I wanted to have a pizza. I wanted to go to Giuseppe's Pizza. So I said to the trike driver in front of McDonald's, I want to go to Giuseppe's Pizza. Yes, sir. Don't get into a tricycle till you find out what the price is, because they'll hit you with some stupid price when you get there. Get your price before you get in the tricycle, before you get in the cab, before you get in the van, and before you get on the motorcycle. So the fellow says $150. It's 1 kilometer. In the city, you go 3 kilometers for 15 pesos. So now it's 10 times the price. So no. So the lowest price I got was 100 pesos to go 1 kilometer. In the city, it's 15 pesos. So that's 6 times the price. As I tell you what, I'll give you 50 pesos. You run me up to Giuseppe's because it's getting late and I'm hungry. No, sir. 100 pesos. So I said, I'll walk. So I walked a kilometer. Not a big deal. But they have now a coalition of tricycle drivers and motorcycle. Now, motorcycle guys are way more reasonable. But the trike drivers, they want 100 pesos if you want to go a block or 1 kilometer. So when on the way home, I said, how many pesos to get back? Well, I told them the Bellevue because they know where that is. Oh, that's very far. As soon as they start telling you how far it is, I didn't ask you how far it was. How many pesos? Pila. Pila means how much. 250, sir. For you, only 250. Well, for 250, it's out of the price range. It's not in the ballpark. 150 for a tricycle is a reasonable price. It's 11 kilometers back and forth, 22 kilometers. It cost them about 70 pesos out of their fare for fuel to go 22, 23 kilometers. So if they tell you 200, that's reasonable. But they want 250 and they don't want to budge. So it goes against my best wishes and what I normally would do, but I got a motorcycle home. And they're all professional drivers, the motorcycle guys. That's not the point. So for a motorcycle to go 11 kilometers, he told me 80 pesos from Giuseppe's. Actually, it's 12. He said 80. So I gave him 100. And he was very happy about that. So, but the prices there. Now, if I would have got a motorcycle to go the same distance in the city, it would be 50 pesos. Not much of a difference, 30 pesos. But 30 pesos difference from 50 is 50% more or less. So, but in Alona Beach, the trike drivers want 100 pesos to get into the trike to go anywhere, and 150 after. Maybe it could be 1 or 2 kilometers. I don't know. I didn't ask. I walked. But it's a tourist trap. So the food there, is hit or miss, the food there. If you're getting fresh seafood and from the beach, they have it laid out on the beach. Once they clear the flies off it, you'll be able to see what it looks like. And if you can push your finger on it, you'll know if it's fresh. They do the best job they can to keep the flies off it, but it's on a beach where there are flies. And they sit there with the wand all day. And once they cook it, I'm sure most of those eggs die, or all of them die, but it's not a pretty sight to see 100, 200 flies landing and taking off all the time. It's not, it's not something I would eat. It's one thing. It's better that it's in the kitchen where you don't see it. So that's it. That's the end of my live stream. Thanks for stopping by. Salamat from Michael Fazio. Let me just check my mail because there was something I could tell you about that's important. An important message. I'm waiting for an important message. Not life concerning, but an important message. And no, it's not here. Oh my God. Ooh. Let me take a look at that. Ooh. Ooh. I was mistaken. Ooh. I gotta go. Okay then. Thanks for watching. Notice. Have you noticed? I've been keeping it drama free. One day, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do one day, and I don't know when. But I think what you've all known for a long time that Alo de Winter and I were once adversaries. Now we're best friends. I mean, it ain't never going to get no better. You're never going to meet anybody online you're going to become more friendly with and more trustworthy besides Alo and myself. And we are friends. Okay, so Alo understands Philippines law. He had a half-hour conversation with my lawyer, and the lawyer, he said, what does he do for a living? I said, I don't know. And he goes, well, he knows the law. I said, yeah, I know. That's why I converse with him. So Alo knows the law. And I have gone through the process in the Philippines for a certain type of case. So one day we have expectations, Alo and I, to explain to people the law. But I won't do that until my presence in the legal system is over. I'm not going to give people information on how to do something, what to do, when to do it, how to do it, the proper procedural, where you have to do, what you have to do. I'm not going to do that. But Alo and I have a plan to do that, and it won't be for several months. But I'm going to tell you, why do I mention this? I'm going to mention this because there are other people that are involved in the legal system that are just screwing up royally. Screwing up royally. They don't understand what a gag order is. A gag order means don't talk about, I don't know, let's just say somebody said something about somebody's girlfriend or wife. And the lawyer says, don't talk about that person's girlfriend. Well, that's a gag order. Don't talk about my woman. Don't say nothing about my woman. Don't say she's pretty. Don't say she has beautiful children. Don't say she comes from a wonderful family. Don't talk about my woman. Do you not understand what it means when you get a gag order from a lawyer? Don't talk about my woman means don't talk about my woman. Okay? And there's a reason for that. And these guys that are involved in this lawsuit, well, the not yet a lawsuit that, to my knowledge, but they're involved in the legal system, they are screwing the pooch, man. They are screwing the pooch, and to the point where they may have screwed themselves. It depends on their knowledge of the law. I will tell you that there's procedure that has to be carried out properly, and you can't break the procedure. And if you do, after the lawyer says, don't talk about my woman, don't talk about somebody's woman. What part of that did you not understand? Don't let other people talk about the woman. Don't let the commenters talk about the woman. Don't talk about my woman. Okay? That's what it means. And yet you do this day after day, after day, after day, after day. You are getting bad advice, or no advice, or sabotaged advice. You cannot do certain things when you're involved in the legal system. Posting stuff after you get into the system, and if someone else recorded it, that's worse. That's worse than before they were in the system. You don't get it. I don't understand why you don't get it. If your lawyer said don't talk about my woman or his woman or the woman or a woman, don't talk about the woman. You don't get it. You're a trip, man. You don't listen. You don't listen. People have told you this. CFD. I forgot to say thanks to CFD. He stopped by. He knows the law. His wife knows the law. I'm right about this. The lawyer tells you, don't talk about that woman. If it's your woman or my woman or his woman, don't talk about my woman. Don't mention my woman. Don't. And you do it every day. And you allow people to talk about my woman in the comments. And you allow people to talk about my woman, and you respond to it with a laugh or a giggle. Do you not understand it would just be better for you if you just remove the comment and don't laugh or giggle about certain things? You are so screwing yourself up. You are so putting yourself deeper into debt and into the claws of the legal system. You don't take advice. I came right out, said your name, your channel, what you were doing wrong, and you blocked me. Okay, we're going to see how that's going to work out for you, but I don't think it's going to work out well for you. I hope it does. I really hope it does. I wish you win, but you don't listen to advice. I was talking to Al about that this morning. He's 100%. Everybody's in agreement that you were told to shut up about certain things and you don't do it. You've never heard me talk about anything that I'm involved with because it's an unspoken thing. Unspoken. If you don't mention anything, there's nothing that they can use against you after the fact. And not only that, not only do you not listen, but then you block people that give you advice. And you think you're going to win. I hope you win. To be honest with you, I hope you win. I hope you win, but that doesn't mean anything because I think you have less than 1% chance of winning. So does Al. So does Scott. And so does who else? CFD. So does CFD's wife. Dude, you just, I don't know. And you do it every day, continuously. Holy macaroni, man. Everybody wants to see you win, but wanting and having, needing, and percentage, you keep saying, you got nothing that I've ever seen that will work in the Philippines judicial system. Nothing. They have they have what they call procedure. And you have to follow procedural methodologies to present certain things. You don't have what you need. I offered my assistance and you blocked me. Now my assistance is no longer available. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I all along I wanted you, but then you blocked me. You blocked me for giving you advice? Really? 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 Dude, you are putting yourself behind the 8 ball. That's all I got to say about that. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I don't know how many people are here. I don't have my glasses on. 8 thumbs up. Whoa, 9. Oh, that's the highest thumbs up I ever got. I never got 8 thumbs up on a live stream. And I didn't even bring any drama into the live stream. Well, thank you very much, everybody. So with that, stop raining. You know what I could do? I could give you a preview. I have some drone videos. I don't know that I have all of them up. Let me take a look. I'm getting okay. I'm getting okay. You know what I could do? Oh, I will show you what I'm going to do. I will show you. I'm going to show you last night's video. Oh my God, Joe Johns. Hey, Joe Johns, Howard Beach. He's from the beach. He's from the beach. I'm surprised he didn't say I'm from the beach. That's how we say it, from the beach. Joe Johns, former Howard Beach resident. That's amazing. That's amazing. So what street did you grow up on? Okay, you got no videos, no playlists. What street? Can I ask you that, Joe Johns? Crime is out of control. That I heard. That I heard, Joe Johns. You know I I keep in contact with maybe 4 people. 161st Avenue. Okay, so new site or old site? Howard Beach. Yeah, well, the 161st, 99th, 98th. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who you are if you tell me between what street. So, that's my paper route was 161st Avenue. That's one of my paper routes, old site. So, 161st. So you lived on the corner on the avenue of Joey Sanfilippo. You lived on the corner of Fat Pat. I think Fat Pat lived on 161st. And between 96th and 95th, Fat Pat lived on. And that's the only 2 people I can remember from 161st. Joey Sanfilippo lived on the corner with his brother and his mother and father. Then they moved across the street naturally. The old side. That's the beach, baby. That is the beach. That's pretty cool. So, Fat Pat. Remember Fat? I don't know. You had to remember Fat Pat. It depends on how old you are. Fat Pat was a guy. He was fat. That's why they called him Fat Pat. But he was a really cool guy to hang out with. And then he had something to do with the church for a long time. And he would go around and try to get people to sign up for the church. And then, I think he was also a musician. This is an old Fat Pat story. And then he became like a brother at the church. And then he was also, I think he collected money for the church. I'm pretty sure he collected money, because that's where we're going. And then he was a trusted brother of the church. And then he robbed the church. They caught him pilfering the collections. Remember, you put the money on the plate? They go around and ask you for money. Fat Pat. And then he prayed to God for forgiveness, and I don't remember much after that. I kind of moved out of Howard Beach by the time he was forgiven. But Fat Pat lived an interesting life. He lived on between 95th and 96th with a stoop that had 9 steps. 3 steps up, then a platform, and then 9 steps up after that. I lived on 99th and 163rd, right by the new bridge. I watched them build the new bridge. I'm old. I watched them build the new bridge. There's the Hawtree Creek Basin Bridge. There's a sign that says the Hawtree Creek Basin Bridge opened up, I forgot the month, but 1962 it was. And yeah, by the new bridge. So I don't know how old you are. But yeah, I grew up on 99th, and then I lived on 95th and 165th from 1979 to 1990. And then I lived across the street from 1977 to 1979 on 95th Street, right across from the park, Charles Park. Yeah, I'm from the beach. The beach. I'm from the beach. Let me get that video. I'll take a look at your answer. I don't know how old you are. You could be a young man. Let me show you my video that I posted yesterday. This is how you talk to people in the Philippines. Okay? So this is the entrance to the Best Western Hotel. Beautiful. At night, this is just, it's kind of like a Disneyland type of environment here. And the guards over here, and all back here is a restaurant. But let me show you how you talk to people that say hello to you and that know you, and what a personality is called. Let's check this out. Watch this. Well, let me turn this around. I'll get you. Let me make sure the thing is in focus. Okay, let's watch. It's an entrance to the Best Western Hotel. Very pretty. Salamat. Mayang buntag, amigo. Mayang gabi pod.
Wapo ka.
Guapo ka. Salamat. Oh, my friend. You're selling boat rides?
Yes.
Pila? Island hopping. What? Pila, P-I-L-A, means how much. How much is the thing? And then he has, and the beach is right behind the man. You saw the beach right before he put that poster up. It's about 5 o'clock at night there. 1,500?
Yes, sir.
You know what? I'll take your number.
Also, here, my name.
No countryside for me. What's your name, amigo?
Rodel Lagnason.
Rodel. He knows. See the beach in the background? And that's a flashlight. That's not the sun. He's got a flashlight. So this fella knows me for a long time. Me, yeah?
Yes.
From where?
From Dasag Rodel Lagnason.
Oh, look at him. Look, are the arms? Yeah, like a lady.
My name here, my name.
Oh, Rodel. The lady arms, like a lady.
Lagnason.
Not like Barriot.
Best friend, Barriot.
Barriot, best friend?
Best friend.
He's a good man, Barriot. Big dude, dako trabaho, dako utag.
Dako utang, dako uten po.
Yeah, dako uten pod, yeah. Barriot's number one, baby. Okay. Okay, that's how it's done if you have a personality. So, nobody does it better. I don't see anybody in the Philippines interacting with people. Now, you're going to get a different opinion. Very nice, says Joe Johns. So, what year did I leave? I left the beach 1993, but I really left the beach in 91. In 91, I got in a van and I toured America. For about 6 months, I went on a van. I got an old van. It was an old custom sleeper van, you know, like with captain's chairs and stuff like that. And I left probably October, maybe, and I came back Easter Sunday the next year of 19. I left in 1990 and I came back in 91. So I was gone 7 months. And I put 30,000 miles on a van I paid $300 for. That my uncle said, "You're going to go where?" I said, "I'm going to go to visit somebody in California." He goes, "I wouldn't take that piece of garbage out of Queens." Like, never mind all of that. Put a set of plugs and points and give me and put these tires on. And I got in the van and I came back 7 months later. I had to I bought an extra clutch with me because I needed a clutch. And I put the clutch in the car with a jack. And I had to put a clutch in it. I did that in Sedona, Arizona. So, but I put 30,000 miles on a $300 van, and all I did was put gas and oil in it. Oh yeah, and I had to put it was what they call a power pack. It was after or before the points. It was a little pack about that big. And about an inch thick, 6 by 6 by an inch. I got stuck in Sedona, Arizona, in a snowstorm blizzard, 2 inches of snow. It doesn't snow there, but I was on top of the mountain, and that's what happened. And it wouldn't start. So I got out of there, and it was $175 for the power pack. And then I got back on the road, and I went to the Grand Canyon in Arizona. I went to San Simeon, California. I went to see some family in Vista, California, and also different parts of San Diego. And then I went to see my old girlfriend in on Rio Drive, 2304 Rio Drive. And then I toured, on the way back, I went to places like Devil's Tower. No, that was on the way there, Devil's Tower, the one in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I went in a few places in the Grand Canyon. I went down into the Grand Canyon. So I kind of left in 1990, came back in 91, worked for 6 months, had a couple of nice jobs, and then I left again and did it again. So, but I came back right after New Year's, and then I prepared myself to move to Florida, and I moved to Florida. Then I went, on the way back from my second trip, I went to Florida, and then I liked it there. And I was with my first girlfriend that I ever had when I was 17. Not my first, but my first steady girlfriend. And I moved to Florida to live with her, but she was crazy. She was a witch, a real witch. She was nuts. And then I moved to the Florida Keys. I took the police exam at Indian River Community College, and then I tried out for the Marine Patrol, MDSO, MCSO, Monroe County Police PD, MCPD, Monroe County Police Department, Florida Keys Correction. And then I realized that there's no way any of these places are ever going to pay me enough money to pay my mortgage, because I had already I was in the process of buying a house. So I gave all of that up and started an excavation company. So I left permanently I left in 93 to move to Florida. You never answered me. What street did you live on? Hold on. Okay, you're not going to answer me, so then we're done. Our conversation is now over. Okay, thanks for stopping by, Joe Johns. All right, then, wow, there's some strange people on YouTube. But there are people, I swear, they were either drunk. I watched a video. There's a show. It's a police show. I watched the show. I never saw it. I didn't even know it existed. I watched a police show. Okay? And I never watched police shows in my life, so I left a silly comment. Stupid comment. It means nothing. But it's something that one of the men in the dialogue always says it often. I probably got 20 comments. Every day I get a different comment. This is the first time you ever left a comment on YouTube. I see you're not a YouTuber. You don't understand anything about the law. I understand about the law, but I don't agree with what the guy did in the video. It's just like, and I agree with the police. In this case, I agree with the police that they arrested the guy. He did something bad, in my opinion. And like I'm gonna do something bad to this to that guy posting that sex stuff on my channel. He's gone. I did something bad. I removed him. So 20 comments on a worthless comment that I left. It was a joke, and then I even put LOL at the back. Lots of love. They don't get it. People come on YouTube and they're drunk. They're high on some kind of chemical. They're coming off of some chemical, or they're coming off of drunk, and they feel it necessary. YouTube is an amazing place. Bye-bye. Gotta go. I'm Pink Permy. Thanks for stopping by. And Joe Johns, you didn't answer my question still. So, thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye, everybody. I'm Pink Permy from Michael Fazio and Daisy May, which means take care always. I'm Pink Permy. Take care always. Have a nice Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye-bye for now.